Ray, let me ask you the same question. When you saw this for the first time, and you walked up to it, didn't know what to expect, what was your gut feeling and your heartfelt feeling when you saw it?
Well, each state had their memorial, and to me it was just like all the states taking hands, holding hands, and how close they were together.
It's wonderful.
And I just didn't imagine it was such a beautiful thing. It was really beautiful.
You think it did respect for the...
Yes, it did. It did. And they really had a choice location where it was put too. It was just in an ideal location. So many interesting things right around it.
Okay. Bill, you've seen this monument memorial
several times. Yes, I have.
And probably see it many times again, but you saw it for the first time when you went sometime. You saw it 7 times, I know for sure. What was your feeling?
Well, with the 7 flights, I think the thing that sticks with all the volunteers and the guardians who are involved is watching the veterans and their excitement and their joy and having the opportunity to see it. It wasn't completed until 2004, so therein was the problem, because most guys on their own could not have made that trip to see it. Now, had it been built 25 years ago, there would have been no need to have honor flights. But that was the great part of it. It was all the excitement of all our buses pulling up and unloading and spending an hour or more at the World War II Memorial. I think a lot about the guys who didn't get to see it. We had a man, John Zamola from Fremont, and he was set to go on a Tuesday flight, and the Friday before, in the afternoon, my cell phone rang. It was his wife in tears. She says, "Bill, John doesn't get to go. He died this morning." So after that flight, a couple days later, Yvonne and I took his red shirt up to her to give it to her that he would have received. And she took us in the bedroom and showed us his clothes laid out and his shoes shined for 2 weeks, waiting for his opportunity to go on the honor flight. He didn't get to go. And we had several, at least a dozen times, where veterans who had died before the flight, we took a photo from the family, took it over to the Nebraska column, had an easel and a wreath, we put it on there, then we took the shot so that the family could have that.
That's what it is.
So yeah, it was. These guys agree. It was fun. It was exciting. An opportunity that they wouldn't have received without all the generous people who donated to the honor flight program. So.
Is this honor flight still going on?
States are still doing it. Our effort completed in April of '09, and it's difficult now for states that are doing it because these veterans are aging, and it's more and more difficult health-wise for them to go. We are still, this is kind of interesting, 66,000 World War II veterans from around the country have gone on the various honor flights. We're the only state to have a man die on an honor flight, which is really off the chart, unbelievable given the health condition of some of the veterans. But we're still the only state to have a man die. But he was from Seward, Nebraska, and got to see the World War II Memorial. Had a great time. On the way home, 20 minutes out of the Lincoln Airport, and we had his daughter go with him because his health was so poor. She was a nurse in Lincoln. He turned to his daughter and said, "This has been wonderful spending this day together to see the World War II Memorial." Cindy said, "Dad, are you feeling all right?" He smiled at her.
Wow.
Gone.
That was that flight I was on.
Yep. Charlie was on that flight. And, Cindy's reaction could have been, you know, I sent my father in good faith, and it was 100 degrees. Remember how hot it was, Charlie? Oh,
Yep.
it was brutal. Anybody who's been there in summertime knows how humid.
And you,
But Cindy's reaction was, you know, he got to go. He died in the company of his comrades, and at his burial in Lincoln, we came over the hill, and there were 30 veterans from that second flight from the Lincoln area in their red shirts and their black VFW hats. They formed two lines from the road to the burial site, and when the casket came down the line, they all stood as straight as they could and saluted. I'll never forget it.
I brings tears to my eyes too.
Wow.
Yeah. In fact, I had a guy from the first flight call me. He says, "I wish it would have been me." I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "I'm probably going to die face down in my oatmeal in the nursing home." He says, "If I could die with some class," he says, "I'd take it." So it's all perspective, right, John? So it's all how you look at it.
Good, good.